Welcome back to Quantum Conversations. My name is Sarah, and today my co-host Carrie Bennett and I are going to be making these complex topics of quantum biology and circadian biology understandable to the everyday person. Thank you so much for tuning in. We ask that if you are listening on audio only, that you take a moment to leave us up to a 5-star review. And if you're on YouTube, leave us a like, leave us a comment. It will help to get the show out to more people. And before we jump into today's topic, just a quick reminder to head down to the show notes and check out my free resources as well as Carrie's free resources. We also do have courses on a variety of topics. If you are hoping to dive deeper, Carrie and I both have practitioner courses available as well for anyone who wants to begin to bring these topics to their clients and help them to implement these strategies into their daily lives. So check those out. We also have a co-taught course called Quantum Fertility that is available that allows people and practitioners to work on their fertility using these principles of quantum biology and circadian biology. Again, thank you so much for listening or watching today's show, whichever one you are doing. And let's go ahead and jump into it now. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Quantum Conversations. We are going to talk about holiday stress, holiday weight gain, holiday self-care. I don't know. We'll see. See where the conversation goes today.
Washaw, or me driving to the other side of the state with my Bon Charge pen, right? My self-care.
You're holding my Indigo Gabbro.
I have so many people on Indigo Gabbro these days. It's so funny. I know. It feels energetically, for people who can energetically feel, who can feel the energy coming from a stone like that. I mean, I think it feels so soothing to me.
It's so grounding. I mean, I actually have like 2 of these beside my bed in my nightstand. Mm-hmm. And if I wake up in the night and I can't sleep, I'll just hold it in my hand.
Yeah,
I
know.
Yeah.
I just came off of a conversation with a community member about the fact that you really can. So, okay, have we talked about this enough, or should we tell people about Indigo Gabbro?
We can. I mean, I feel like we have talked about it a little bit, but just a refresh in case people are like, what are they even talking about?
It's a naturally occurring stone, also called mystic merlinite. Mystic merlinite that has the ability. Now, and I want to tell everyone, the place that I've learned everything I know about stones and how to use them and, maybe their properties comes from the Vesica Institute. Mm-hmm. That's Robert Gilbert's institute, where he really combines science, spirituality, and biogeometry in all of his teachings. And so I've taken many, many courses there, and I've had I've learned so much. But this is where I was like, okay, I became aware that the different crystals, I knew different crystals and stones had different properties, but I became aware of this particular stone called Indigo Gabbro, mm-hmm. that has been known for quite some time for its ability to transmute toxic energies. So what does that mean? Well, the fact that it's black. A lot of black stones have that capability. In the same way that melanin we talk about all the time is a strong absorber of all frequencies. That's the same thing. That's the same concept here. So you have other black stones that have this kind of quality to it. Shungite, mm-hmm. for example. But what I love about this Indigo Gabbro or mystic merlinite is that it doesn't only absorb toxic vibrations, but it essentially transmutes them, mm-hmm. and then emits what's called the centering vibration, which is the energy of God, Christ consciousness, the one field, right? It's just basically the light and love of the universe is mm-hmm. what that is. And so this has been called an adaptogenic mineral because in various environments, it has the ability to absorb what's toxic to you, transmute it, and provide you with a beneficial energy quality. And I've tested this on so many people using my weird pendulum type stuff and mm-hmm. have found it to be very, very healthy or for people to have this on them. So talking about having something in a time of holiday stress where you can't control your non-native EMF environment, where you can't control Aunt so-and-so asking you why you haven't gotten pregnant yet. I mean, like you can think of all the various ways that we can categorize stress and toxicity. And to have that on hand for me has just been an amazing thing as a tool for myself, but also then to bring to so-and-so's house during Thanksgiving when I can't control the non-native EMFs. It's just been so, for me, it just feels like a very soothing and easy tool to use. I keep it in my purse all the time. I have them all, like you, kind of like you, I have them all over the house.
I do too. Yeah. I have one in my purse as well. I feel like all kinds of stones in my purse. It's odd, but what are you going to do?
We should do that sometime. Like a purse. What's in your purse? I have this little, this guy that I met at the water conference. It literally looks like a disc that has like a metal bottom and wax inside of it. And he told me, keep it wrapped inside of a tissue. So inside of my purse, I'll go to a restaurant, I'll take out this weird shaped tissue and unwrap it. And it creates a torsion field, which can structure and energize water. I saw his research. It's very, very fascinating.
Wow. Okay.
But it's like, all of a sudden it's like, what's that crazy lady doing? Like, and so anyways, what's in your purse would be a very interesting
That would be fun. That actually would be fun.
But yeah, I mean, I think when it comes back to holiday stress, it's like, this to me is oddly soothing. Even if it's simply just playing with it in the hands. Like I do this all the time with it, just like toss, like just roll it around in the hands.
As I'm sitting here, I just kind of hold it, and it keeps me grounded, because sometimes if I'm doing a live stream or podcast or, anything where I'm putting out a lot of energy, I need to stay like grounded and connected and kind of orienting to my body and this space. And I find in times of high stress that ability becomes less and less. And so having, I think, a little stone, something you just hold,
yes,
is super helpful. Yeah.
Now, do be aware, because we're probably going to get this question. The only place I get my stuff from is from the Vesica Institute.
And they sell out a lot.
They sell out a lot. And you realize, they sell out a lot. But I think what they're doing is they're sourcing the best quality stuff. And what they do is the way that I've learned to energetically test things for the various qualities, like the various wavelengths of energy, the centering vibration, the indigo vibration, the absorbing vibration, you can test for all those. And I've learned those methods that have a really ancient lineage through the Vesica Institute. So what I appreciate about them is they'll test all the Indigo Gabbro before they'll sell it. Because some of the stuff that you can get is heat treated, which changes its properties, or it's got a big nasty shellac coating that will transform its properties. And so if you're going to get it, look through the Vesica Institute to get that Indigo Gabbro.
Yeah, it's always interesting to find sources for stones and things like that. Because when I first started getting into it, I thought everything was equal, and it's just not. There's this place that opened up in this really trendy area. I won't name names because I know we probably have some Atlanta listeners, but it opened up like probably 10 years ago in this really trendy area. And I was so excited about it. And I took my daughter, Alexis, to the place. And then I asked her later on the letterboard what she thought about it. And she wanted to leave immediately. I was shocked at her response to the place, because I took her in and she just wanted to leave. Like, she was grabbing my hand, pulling me out of there. And I asked her later, I said, what was going on in there? And she spelled mall witches. It's just a bunch of fake witches, Mom. Yeah. Don't go back in that store.
That's so funny.
Okay, Alexis does not approve.
She knows energy more than
she does. She senses things, and something in that store, she was just like, nope.
Thanks.
No, thank you. So, yeah.
So when it comes to other holiday types of stress, I think the one that I think most people think of is food.
Yeah, right? That's the biggest thing. Food, and then in the people, just they live differently, they speak differently, they might have different views than you do, values than you do, and their family, and in an enclosed space with them, and things can get tense. So yeah, but let's talk through the food first. And
then Sarah, go deeper. What do you want to
tackle the others?
So no, I'm thinking, yeah. So for the food, like the food and the light for me, I think people are shocked when we say this, but like, if I can't control it for a day or two,
It's okay.
it's okay. It's not going to make or break things.
Mm-mm.
The number of times you and I have had to wake up in the middle of the night because of vomit, pee, or diarrhea,
Last
right?
night.
I know, right? There you go. And, I'm not going to clean up diarrhea or
In the dark. You have to turn the light
with
on.
my orange tone blue blockers.
You got to turn the big light on. Like, I'm sorry.
Floodlight. And so it's like, it's okay, right? It's okay.
Mhm.
And so I think that what we have the benefit of is the longevity of living this circadian quantum lifestyle now, in that at first we were very rigid because we were trying to pull ourselves from the throes of an illness, or you were really working to conceive. And so we really wanted to be very rigid and strict with what we did. And now we've realized that as we've built in this we've literally built a rhythm into our bodies that allows us to every once in a while go off of it, and the body can hop back right on as soon as we have the potential to get back into our natural, daily rhythm, nightly rhythm. And so if you're brand new to this, yeah, you may experience a little bit of detrimental, consequences. Maybe your sleep might be a little bit different. Maybe your digestion might go wonky a little bit, because you just haven't built in that rhythmic predictability, right? But if you've been doing this for quite some time, don't stress. The stress itself is going to tank your mitochondrial function about being perfect during a holiday versus, doing it absolutely perfectly.
Yeah. I just did a solo Q&A episode. This will come out Friday, and that my solo Q&A came out on Wednesday. And I really had some people that are dealing with some really stressful things, a husband with a possible cancer diagnosis, and just like people in the midst of just really stressful things right now. And they're like, how do I stay perfect with my circadian rhythm habits? And I'm like, you can't. It's not realistic to be perfect all the time. What's important is that you're consistent with the things that you can be. Sometimes my kids wake up and totally wreck my morning. Today was a gold standard awesome day, but they were both up in the night. One of them vomited, the other one had an accident. I'm like, okay, we'll just deal with it. So they were both sleeping in this morning, and I had this beautiful quantum morning. I did a cold plunge, I grounded, I did sunshine, I did breakfast, all the things, but there's the morning when they're both awake before sunrise and running around, and it's like, okay, I need to go outside. And you have to just do your best and understand that it is cumulative. So one morning, maybe you only get 2 minutes, but the next day you get 20 minutes or 5 minutes and 15 or 2 minutes, it's not this, it has to be 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here. And it's just these protocols that people think they have to follow. Your body's not stupid, and just kind of creating an overarching, consistent routine period is going to be helpful, rather than just having to like dial in everything to the millisecond, stressing out if somebody has to turn a light on, if people get up in the night, if things are going to happen. It's life, and your body is resilient, it's adaptable. And there is something about stress that impacts, you've talked about it, I know I have as well, Dr. Martin Picard and his research on stress and the mitochondria. And I think there's also a joy factor and an enjoyment and a happiness factor with mitochondria as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they said. They showed, like, do you go to bed after watching funny cat videos, or do you go to bed after, doing something that's very stressful, fight with a significant other, or just having had a really rough, stressful day and just kind of being down about it? That will impact the quality of your mitochondria the next morning by 15 to 20%. I mean, that's a pretty big shift simply from, so I'm of the, so I don't know. I'm of the opinion with families and holidays, it's like, I don't feel like talking about anything controversial.
No, I don't either. And like, my husband doesn't understand because he has a different relationship with his family, to where they can just talk about things and agree to disagree. And they see eye to eye on a lot of stuff. I have completely opposite views on most things from my sisters and my mom, completely opposite views. And I love them. They're my sisters. They're my family. And I choose to continue having a relationship with them because they're my sisters, they're my family. And if they want to talk about, every now and then they'll bait me with something. And I just kind of look at them like, we're not having this conversation because I'm probably not going to change your mind. You're probably not going to change my mind. If you like, and they, relatives will try to bait you sometimes, unfortunately. I don't take the bait. My mom tries to bait me all the time. God bless. Not taking the bait. Don't take the bait. I just say, we can agree to disagree. And if there comes a time when they have an honest question about why I think the way that I do, about why I live the way that I do, then they can come to me and ask me. But my views and my morals and the things that I believe and live by, I'm not debating that. I'm just living it,
Yeah, completely. I know. Same thing. I don't get obsessive about putting my blue blockers on right at nightfall.
Right.
We're going to be, the sun's going to set, and we're going to be getting to the hotel at 6 p.m. after Thanksgiving. I've already had dinner. The sun's going to have set, and so fine. As soon as I get into the hotel, I will put my oranges and then my reds on likely. And let everything kind of normalize itself. But sometimes in those types of environments where people already think you're a little.
I know my sisters still make fun of me. We did a girls trip in 2021 and they're still like, oh, you wore those weird ass glasses. And I went to the beach with my sister when I was pregnant and she was like, why are you turning off all the lights? Like, how can you be in the room with this? This is terrible. So
you're like, by the way, I still wear those weird ass glasses. That wasn't just a one-off. Like
it wasn't a trend. It wasn't it wasn't like the smoothie detox challenges or the master cleanse diets I used to do. This is a lifestyle that I'm actually adhering to at this point. So
master cleanse.
Oh gosh, don't even get me started on the amount of books and things I threw away when we moved, of just stuff I used to try because I didn't feel good. I just didn't feel good. And I was willing to do extreme stuff. But the thing is, I wasn't willing to be consistent with normal stuff on a daily basis, know?
Right. Yeah. Listen, through the foundation of light and hydration and mitochondrial support, sleep, nature, earthing, grounding, all those sorts of things, I love playing around with a liver gallbladder support or a liver gallbladder colon. You might call it a cleanse, or brief bouts of fasting here and there. Months where I focus more on dry brushing and lymphatic drainage and sweating. I do think that those ultimately can have a place in and I'm not hearing you say that they don't. But what I'm saying is, like you said, if you're not laying the right foundation, and then day in and day out supporting your body with the light environment, what you choose to eat, when you choose to eat, who you choose to be around, the news that you choose to engage with, not because I want someone to have my same opinion, it's because it's affecting the water structure in your body. If that news is stressful and fearful and hateful and things like that, those are the things I think lay the foundation. And then, if you want to, then ultimately do some detoxification, go for it. But that's why my paradigm is redox and drain. You can redox and open drainage pathways. And then if you want to do a detox, do the detox.
Go for it.
But I don't think that's the place that you start.
I used to do the master cleanse, and that's a horrible thing. I'm sure people that are listening, we might have a few people who've tried it before. But that's the 10 days of lemon juice, like pure squeezed lemons, maple syrup, cayenne pepper, and filtered water.
Lots of water, yeah.
Yeah, that you drink throughout the day. And then you do the Epsom salt, the salt flush in the morning where you drink a liter of salt water really fast and it goes right through you. Don't leave the house for a couple hours afterwards.
Goes through both places. Right. It's not just your kidney that's filtering that, people.
Everything's coming out, and you better don't trust a fart at that point.
It's so true.
Go to the bathroom now. It's a dangerous situation.
So true. I've been there. Wait, not even a little fart. Don't even.
Oh, I would do this thing, and I would, by the end of it, feel like I was about to die. Like, oh my God, what have I done? And then I would feel great, like coming off of it. I would follow the instructions, but then a week later, I'm drinking margaritas, eating chips and queso and salsa and all the junk again, and back to the old habits and wondering, oh, maybe I should do another master cleanse. No, honey, maybe you should just not eat snacks every night in front of the TV and junk food as a regular thing. Not that you can't ever do it, but like my whole issue used to be for years that I was always using a detox exercise. I abused exercise massively.
Same.
To pay for my sins, essentially, instead of, and I don't even like to call it a sin. I would pay for like poor choices, poor lifestyle habits, poor choices. And then now I have this level of health and level of consistency built so that I don't drink margaritas. I just don't drink anymore. But if I wanted to have chips and queso and salsa, it's not going to set off a cascade of bad behavior for a month, and it's not going to make me feel bad for a week for doing it. So there's a difference, Oh,
absolutely. And this idea, I think we need to coach people over this idea of, oh gosh, I just ate 1,000 calories during Thanksgiving meal, and now I got to burn 1,000 calories. It's like, it doesn't work that way. Yeah. We're open systems we're always exchanging energy with the environment. We're open systems. We're not closed systems. We're not a machine that has calculated calories from burning the substance. I mean, so what the best thing that you can do is, to the best of your ability. So like, I still am not going to indulge in anything gluten, like, cause I choose not to. I know that where it's being prepared, it's going to be full of glyphosate, right? It's just not going to be it for me. I don't want it. But am I going to have, these are gluten, actually, because we have celiac in the family, these are gluten-free, organic. My uncle is the best at making homemade pumpkin pie, apple pie, and cheesecake. I'm going to have some of that. Are you kidding me? And I'm not going to feel bad about it. The next morning, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to have my protein-rich breakfast. I'll be craving at that point, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then so I'll see the sunrise, have my breakfast, get outside as much as possible, move my body. Because after that, I do feel like my body wants to be more active. I think that's just a natural consequence of being like, wow, you had a lot of nourishment right there, lots of stuff. So now we know that you can go ahead and have the desire to do your yard work or whatever it is you have to do. And so yeah, I mean, I used to want to run the boot camp class before Thanksgiving, run the boot camp class after Thanksgiving, like make sure you're burning all those calories. And it's just,
it's just stupid. It's going to leave you more. I used to do the same thing. I go to the gym, do a really hard workout, 2-hour workout, because the gym's open on Thanksgiving, and, go outside and get all my steps in. And then I end up overeating and overindulging because I'm so hungry, because I've burned off all this energy I've got in my body, like really hungry. And then I overeat, I feel terrible. And then it just becomes this like shame cycle, and it continues. And so I think the more that you can keep yourself out of a shame cycle and reframe the holidays in general as a time for rest, for kind of going inward, relaxing, and really just like having a few things maybe you enjoy, but not needing to do that for another 6 weeks. And I think it'll be okay. Because I, again, used to feel pretty good. Typically November, I felt pretty good. Like the weather's good. It's nice and sunny here. I would feel good. But then I would have Thanksgiving, and then that would just kind of set me off, oh, I just ate all this stuff, and then I eat leftovers for like a few days afterwards. So now if I'm going somewhere, the food's really good, I don't bring home leftovers. I just don't do it. I'm like, no, I'm going to go back to my healthy stuff, and then go back to, there's 6 weeks or so between Thanksgiving and Christmas. But I used to just spend that whole 6 weeks just having more treats and then feeling bad about it. And then like, I'll have more treats and then I'll feel bad, and just slip into this whole depression, food cycle. And then come January, I feel like I have to start going to the gym at 5 a.m. and being extreme and going on a smoothie cleanse, and just, this is not fun.
Yeah. Not a fun cycle, not productive, not healing in any capacity for you or for me with those same patterns. And, the whole idea too with this holiday thing, I think the mindset that I was always in was, well, if I had that one extra cookie or that whatever it was, that one little indulgence, well, my day is ruined, right? My clean eating day is ruined. And so I'll start over again the next day, or wait, but I got a holiday party this weekend, so let me wait, Monday, it'll be Monday. It's like, it doesn't have to be like that. You eat clean when you can eat clean.
Right.
It's not this idea of I had one cookie and now my calories are ruined for the day, or I had
Right.
this one cookie and now it's ruined. It's like, no,
Right.
the next meal is a chance just to nourish your body with what it needs and what's
Mhm.
supportive. And so getting out of that mindset was huge. And I
Huge.
think it also was helpful that I stopped fasting from
Mhm.
sunrise until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because
Yeah.
then
That would screw me up.
right. Talk about then maybe having that first meal as being like quote unquote healthy, but then I might have a couple of energy balls, which are basically just sugar balls. And those energy balls would ultimately, because I hadn't eaten, my leptin was off. I was triggered more cravings at night. I always needed something sweet to eat.
Mhm.
It was
Mhm.
that set off a vicious cycle there.
Yeah, totally. I was the same way. I saw this. I want to recreate it, but I can't do the food waste because, gosh, man, the comments were very angry under this reel, but I loved it. And she was drinking some coffee and she spilled a little bit on her shirt, and then she poured the rest of it out on herself. And then she was getting some eggs out of the fridge and she dropped one egg on the floor and she was like, oh, dumped all the eggs on the floor. And she was just doing things like that around her kitchen. And if I get it, like it's such a great concept. So I want to recreate this in some way. But man, the people were pissed off about the food. They were just like, I get the concept, but this is disgraceful with these grocery prices like this. How could you dump a whole dozen eggs? Um, but that whole, it just makes you think like that's what a lot of people do with this time of year. It's like, yeah, I had Thanksgiving dinner. So for the next week, I'm just going to make every day Thanksgiving, or the next 6 weeks, it's the holidays. So for the next 2 months, I'm going to treat my body like a garbage can. And it doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be that way. And yeah, it doesn't.
We want to talk a little bit about why we both use more red light therapy in the winter really quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Come summer, it is so easy for me to pop outside for 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, take the clothes off, and just soak up the natural light, right? And I know you do. I know you do the same. And it's beautiful because we're getting all of those red and near infrared wavelengths from the sun and imparting all those healing benefits from sunlight. But come, November, December in Michigan, there's very little opportunity for me to do that. It's just too cold, and so I'll go outside and get my light signaling through my eyes, but my skin really, that infrared and red that I want to absorb through my skin is just lacking. And so that's why I would highly recommend, if you live in an environment like that, you consider using a red light therapy panel in the winter. It can be the biggest game changer.
Yeah. And we both love the Bon Charge Mini. This is super convenient. You can take it with you traveling. You guys don't know, when I'm recording the podcast, half the time I have it on my low back or somewhere in my body to mitigate some of this blue light. And for the months of November and December, you can use the code QuantumPod25 for November and December only to get 25% off the panel or anything on the Bon Charge website. Carrie and I are both big fans.
Yeah. And one more thing really quickly with that. It's a great gift too, right? If you want to start getting people involved in this lifestyle and say it's the most convenient way, if there's a mom that you know who needs to tend to boo-boos and aches and pains for kids, or earaches, tummy aches, sore throats, it's a phenomenal gift to give as well, because it really can wipe away pain very fast.
I love it. All right, check it out. Link is in the show notes.
It's a complete mindset shift when you actually understand how the body uses energy too. What about the concept of like, it's not just food, it's energy. And we can get energy from light, we can get energy from earthing, we can get energy from sauna, we can get energy from movement. So, I mean, all that really balanced out my understanding of food as being the only source of fuel for my body. And, my day was made or broken by the amount of food that I consumed, or the type of food I consumed, or calories in versus calories out, that type of mentality.
Oh, the counting, weighing, and tracking. It's so,
Blah.
I know. I talk about it because people want to hear about it, but I really hate talking about it.
Same. I know when people want a meal plan, it's like, I will not do a meal plan. I hate meal plans, and I won't give you, it's just, you really have to, I hate to say it, but we all have to do this. We all have to realize, does 2 eggs in the morning satisfy me? Does 3 eggs? Does 4 eggs? Does 14 eggs? It's like, you try to just kind of go back and forth, and you find, for me, it's like, My body loves 3 to 4 eggs, sometimes 5, depending. It's like depending. And if that's, so it's like, that's the amount of protein that my body craves. And it wasn't because I followed some protocol or some diet that I got that information. It was just from doing something and then observing my body. And what I was looking for in those instances was, how satiated am I after consuming this meal? How long do I stay satiated? Ideally 4 to 6 hours, right? In that range. And then what's my hunger, energy, and cravings like at night, right? Am I hangry at night? Am I craving things? So all of those things started to normalize themselves, but it was through my own trial and error, which it's hard to, that's doesn't let you make you go viral. You do not go viral when you talk about it in this capacity.
I know. I have a post today I was going to do about macros, and I'm like, I don't know if I can. Because yesterday I posted about 10 foods that I like to eat, that help what I ate when I was losing weight. And that went wild. People were wild over that one.
Like wild in a good way or in a bad way?
In a bad way. Like,
I can't.
Why don't you eat this? What's wrong with this food? I've been eating that. Should I stop? I'm like,
no.
Did
you read the caption?
No, they usually don't. They never do. Or if they do, they get more confused, because the thing is that we're just programmed for confusion these days. And that's you and I, we are try so hard to help people back up out of that confusion and understand that it doesn't have to be this weighing, tracking, and measuring game. When you have all the big stuff accounted for, your body just doesn't work that way. And if you're somebody who, if you're not weighing, tracking, and measuring everything that you're eating, you just gain massive amounts of weight, then I would look at what's going on in your environment. Like,
you are losing energy from your environment.
Something is causing your body to lose energy. And I can't tell you what that is without like a full conversation, but there's something in your environment that's causing you to lose energy. And I think lack of infrared during the day is massive, near and far infrared. We just have no infrared because we're not getting that expansion of exclusion zone water, which is a huge energy source. And we're not getting subcellular melatonin, which helps to clean up and make the mitochondria a lot more efficient. So our metabolism is more efficient. And I think that's a big issue that people are, they don't realize it. They're like, I'm doing all the circadian stuff. I'm like, where are you all day? Well, I'm in my office all day, but I'm going out for sunrise and, I'm putting on blue blockers at night. I'm like, but where are you all day? Well, I'm in my office. I'm like, you got to get some infrared, you got to get some.
And mitigate the non-native EMFs if you can. And and then, I mean, there is something to be said too about what aggressive blue light is by itself. We know that can elevate blood sugar, right?
Right.
And so add the infrared or the red in if you can, but also at the same time, what can you do with the blue exposure? I also think inside of the body is, I've got clients who've had some major toxin exposures that also I think part of the reason why the body holds on to body fat is because it's a reservoir for toxins. So it's also, I also kind of have that conversation of what toxins have you been exposed to? What toxins are you currently exposed to? What are your drainage pathways looking like when it comes to your body being able to get rid of those toxins in the first place? So there's way more to the conversation than eat this, not that, but that is what people want. And you and I, we've been doing this enough where I've literally had conversations in my community or with one-on-ones that go like this. Gosh, when I cut out these carbs, I started to feel a lot better. And when I've had a very similar conversation, I said, gosh, when I added these carbs, I started to feel a lot better. Gosh, when I went breatharian, I started to feel a lot better. When it's like, there's
so many shades of gray.
But people need to kind of figure this out and observe their own bodies and kind of see what might be going on when it comes to what their body is asking for and needing. And so it's like, I say the definition for food, the definition of insanity with food really is
trying the same thing over.
Trying the same thing and being more aggressive with your same thing. If you're not noticing a benefit of a nutrition plan within a couple of weeks,
change it up.
And I'm not always saying weight loss. That's not the only thing that you look at, but within a few weeks to a month, you should notice, my blood sugar feels more stable, or my energy feels more stable, or my cravings are less, or gosh, I don't get hungry at night in the same capacity. Like there are certain shifts that you should be noticing. And if you don't notice that, probably not the right one for you.
Yeah. And I answered a question on my Q&A Wednesday that I actually just recorded this morning, but you know, I will get this a lot in my community. I thought I was going to feel so much more energy with all the sunlight routines and blocking blue light at night, but I feel less energy. And I'm like, waiting for it, waiting for it. I changed my diet. I'm like, there it is. Not to say that you should not change your diet and you should not get rid of things. But if you make too drastic of a change too quickly, you won't feel as good. And if your sleep gets disrupted, that's a big sign that you've cut too many carbs out too quickly. And there's mineral loss. Your body thinks it's under attack. And so you got to sometimes back out a little bit. Not to say go back to eating fast food and junk food and all the things, but maybe an extra serving of root vegetables, maybe baked apples, maybe it's just, you might need to add a little bit more in there, get your body into a place where it feels safe again, continue to double down on all the light protocols, and then reevaluate. It's every single time. And that's why I have in my leptin program, I have like 4 hours worth of, just probably overkill, but it's so much information on nutrition of how to play around with things because it's going to change. You know, the way I eat right now, this time of year is different than when I eat in the summer.
Totally.
I'm constantly kind of shifting things around. What really messed me up was trying to eat carnivore 24 hours a day, obviously 365 days a year is what I meant to say, like all the time and never having any variation. My body was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. Well, we're going to downregulate all these functions because we don't have the right amount of energy coming in. So, okay, cool. We're just going to downregulate some stuff for you. Like the body is always trying to talk with you and tell you we need to course correct. It's not, I think we always look at things as like, this is so bad. I'm waking up in the night. I'm like, well, it's a conversation your body's having with you that something is making you think you need to wake up and hunt.
Yes.
It's a biological imprint and it's a conversation. Are you willing to have it? Or are you just going to override it? You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Symptoms are one of the only ways that your body has to talk to you.
Right.
And so really it is interesting to have that open line of communication to understand that, your the body is never trying to hurt you. Mm-mm. It is trying to adapt based on your environment, what you're putting into it. It's trying to adapt. And if it's maladapting and expressing symptoms, it gives you some really interesting information about what you might want to shift and change.
Yeah. I shared about it on my Instagram stories that I had gotten into. Like I've had a stressful couple months with my daughter. Things have been kind of up and down. Overall, we're in about 1,000,000 times better place than we were a year ago. But we've had some challenges. And I let some of these chocolate covered acai berries, please don't go buy them. They're really, really bad for you. Sneak into my life. And I was okay at first. No issues. That's why they got kind of subtly snuck in there. And then after a couple of weeks, my ankle started really bothering me really bad. It's an old injury. And I'm like, oh my God, my ankle hurts so bad. My husband's like, you got to quit eating that stupid chocolate. Like, it's not the chocolate, it's the chocolate. Cut the chocolate out. Guess what? Do some red light on my foot. It's better. No problems. So that was my body saying, hey, this is not something we need to, this is causing a problem. Get rid of it. And I was just not really wanting to listen to it, but I did. It's gone. And now my ankle's better. So,
I find that so fascinating because I do find that people oftentimes when something that we eat, whether it's the next day or whether it accumulates over time, it's almost always injured joints that express themselves. And I think it's because those are areas that have already lost energy. The collagen is structured in a different way, so it doesn't hold as much energy. So when you do something that is stripping your body of additional energy or is soaking up your energy reserves to try to clear, aka eating something that's driving inflammation, it makes perfect sense to me that the joints are going to start to express that for you. So what a cool barometer that you have to be able to be like, okay, now I know. Now that's almost looked at as, oh wow, this is a gift because I know this signal and I know what to do about it.
Yeah, I love that. And the whole autoimmune, your body is attacking you thing, it just doesn't resonate with me at all. It really doesn't. I don't think our body is ever trying to attack us. I just
It's
don't.
not. We can talk about that's actually
That's
a
a
really
whole other
good episode.
Yeah, we'll write that down.
Here's something I want to share with people. So let's say you're into this circadian lifestyle and you're going to families for the holidays, and it's like one of my favorite. If you don't want to like be in your face, sometimes blue blockers, like orange and blue blockers, are in your face, but you want people to ask you a question about why are you doing that? It's a red phone screen. It gives a really good entry point into being like, well, I keep it red because the amount of crazy blue light coming from this is toxic to my eyes. It messes with my metabolism. It messes with my sleep. And so I find that to be the most subtle way. If you do want to start to maybe open up a conversation with people in terms of like, again, no guilt tripping. It's just like, I choose to keep my phone screen this way because of these things, and not every light in this house is creating a right? It's killing you.
Blocking cytochrome 4.
How dare you? And the other thing that I think would be helpful is, I don't know about, so I do love, again, Kelly's Torch or the Bun Charge, right? They're perfectly portable in terms of being able to, if you do feel like, for me, if I feel like I've eaten anything that is making my stomach queasy, the Bun Charge on the abdomen, on the stomach, is phenomenal at clearing the pain, the bloat, the discomfort. I also like, and I'm going to reach down and grab it because I have a bottle right here. This is Takasumi Supreme from Supreme Nutrition.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Right. This is like, so, and again, I'm sorry, there's like a piece of cat hair dangling from it. This is just a really good carbonized bamboo binder. I will have people, if they start to feel any symptoms of like a food sensitivity or whatnot, I will have them take it afterwards, even if they still have food in their stomach, and then take it maybe 2 more times. The typical serving size is 3 capsules. And it really does a good job at kind of soaking the body up or pulling things into it and passing them out through your stool that are potentially driving up inflammation.
I love it. Yeah, I keep a bottle of that on hand as well. And the Bond Charge, I've been using that when my ankle is bothering me. I'll actually just put my foot on the bed and I prop the panel up right next to my ankle. And I'll just kind of lay in the bed, hold my Indigo Gabbro, of course, meditate. I'll sit there 20, 30 minutes just with the Bond Charge on my ankle. And then the issue's gone. It's totally better. So, and Kelly's Torch too. I alternate between the two. I had like the pillows set up to prop up to be right on my ankle and my leg propped up. And it was just like, so both of those are awesome.
They are. And, when it's like going to a hotel room or just staying at someone's house where you don't have control of the light environment, this makes like this.
And
it's a great, middle of the night, you wake up, it's or, you just want to have some ambient light in the room. It's fabulous for that. And so you don't have to bring your own bulbs then. And then, of course, I still roll up towels and show towels underneath the door, right? Because the light coming from hallways and stuff is obnoxious. But but I'm saying like that, this is having a portable red light therapy device that you can take with you is a fabulous tool to have on hand for so many reasons, shining it on your stomach, if you get accidentally get an injury, for just ambient lighting, or you wake up in the middle of the night and you drop something and you want to find it. Like, it's just so good.
So I would say if you're going anywhere for holidays, then you want to have your blue blockers, your Indigo Gabbro.
Yes.
My Circadian app, you want to get that too. That's on Black Friday until Monday. We're doing $99 for lifetime access. So you can measure your lux in the room to make sure it's a 10 and below. Get it nice and dim.
That's going to be fun to play around with. I can't wait.
Yeah. I always bring some Quinton ampules wherever I go.
I love Quinton. I love my beam, right? My beam and my Quinton, minerals
molecular hydrogen.
Molecular hydrogen. You and I have been inhaling Axiom as of late, right? I've really.
What do you think? I'm curious.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. What I do notice is this was a perfect time of year to kind of start breathing or start playing around with that machine. And so you and I have the Axiom, I believe it's called 600, or it's a 600 milliliters per minute flow rate, which is it's a very therapeutic flow
very
rate.
Powerful,
so you can get a lot in 30 minutes. You could get a very therapeutic dose in 30 minutes. But what I have noticed is a typical switch for me when I'm not earthing and grounding as much, and the strong sunlight, the strong UV light is gone from my environment, I can typically start to wake up with a little bit more joint pain, or a little bit, not even pain, but like puffing, a little puffiness, but based on the rings, and just kind of feel like almost like just a little bit of water retention in my body. Since doing that molecular hydrogen, I don't ever experience that. It feels so good. And even if we are out to eat somewhere where it's maybe Chipotle, not the most ideal place, but you got kids running here and there and everywhere, and there's stuff in there that it's just like, I can't control that. But it used to maybe make my joints a little puffy. That stuff is really, really cool.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's why I was able to get away with the chocolate for so long.
Yeah. It took a massive threshold.
It took about 2 weeks, honestly, where I'm like grabbing a handful of it here and there. Like,
I can totally picture those back. Is that like a Costco one? I don't know. I can totally.
Yeah.
I can totally picture the one. They've got chocolate covered blueberries that I got caught.
Yeah, the blueberries. I say, stay away, evil.
Stay away.
But I
mean, a handful every once in a while, but maybe not like a half a bag a day.
Yeah, it took about 2 weeks. And I think it was because I inhale hydrogen probably at least an hour every single night. And my body can handle all kinds of stuff now. But there is a tipping point that eventually does kick in where you're like, no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's good. That's good that you have your threshold, right? There is no magic pill. So even though we love molecular hydrogen, there's no magic pill.
You can't treat your body like garbage and get away with it forever. It's eventually going to catch up to you. So.
Exactly. Do you do anything with water? Do you bring like your analemma, or do you?
I bring analemma, and I bring hydrogen tablets. If I'm gonna travel, I've got Quinton, hypertonic ampules. I've got my analemma wand, and I've got molecular hydrogen tablets that I'll bring.
Same. Yeah. And I will bring my beam too.
I still haven't got to the beam train yet.
Dude, hop on the beam train. People, hop on the beam train. I love it. So I have a discount code in my product guide. I don't know what it is. caribbeewellness.com/products. Find it, because all these places are having Black Friday sales.
Friday, everything is wild with the Black Friday. Analemma is going to do a Black Friday starting, I think today, as of the day that I think we'll air this episode on Friday, because it makes the most sense. But I think they're doing a 25% off at Analemma. So
yeah. Check it all out. This is the time of year. This is the time of year if I'm going to make a big purchase. I mean, even a bunch of small purchases, like stocking up Quinton, the beam, like stocking up on all those types of things. I'll get a couple cases of water. It's just
I've stocked up on my digestive enzymes. Though.
Oh yeah.
Healthy gut enzymes are just,
they're really good.
So many others, and their butyrate is amazing, because Alexis was having a gut issue. And we started her on 1 capsule of their butyrate, which is pretty pricey, and giving her enzymes with every meal. And and doing some other things too. We're doing some informed water. That's a whole other topic. But I really actually think that was massively helpful. But the healthy gut supplements are on Black Friday, and I freaking love them.
That's another one to take with you, though. Digestive enzymes, or
always
HCl.
Take Holozyme with me.
Yeah,
Holozyme. I'll take Holozyme during just preemptively. I'm like, I know I'm about to eat junk.
Well, yeah, totally. And for people who need that butyrate, that what is it called? Tributyrin X. Yeah, it's
so good.
It's fabulous. Their HCl is a really good quality HCl that they have there as well. So
yeah. And they have a gut course now. I haven't done it, but
I haven't either. Interesting.
Yeah. Steve is a great guy. He's been on my show a ton of times. I talked him into creating a course, and then I never did it.
Well, I mean, good, Steve. I'm glad he has one. So that's great. No, that's fabulous. And really, really great quality products. I'm not even, you might be an affiliate. I'm not an affiliate.
I'm an affiliate.
So if you have a
links
code.
in my I think my affiliate links will even stack with their Black Friday. So if you go to product guide, you'll find all the healthy gut links, and then you can use the links and it'll stack with their Black Friday. Cause I stocked up.
Do we have in our show notes on YouTube? Do we have our product guide links? Do you know? Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. So just go to the link. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yep.
Then that way you can find this stuff easily, because it's always nice to find. Sometimes I'll Google, like if I don't know if you have your discount code, if I don't have one, I'll just, you just Google it to try to find who has the discount code. So it's always nice.
Companies are getting smarter. I've had a couple companies reach out. They're like, we're changing your code because I think it's on the black market. I'm like, whatever.
On the interwebs.
On the interwebs, dark web. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Anything else? So we've got blue blockers, Quinton.
Yeah. I mean, can we be for real? Like my for sure go-to is blue blockers. Like I
have blue blockers of every color in my purse.
Exactly. All over. Like I've got this huge drawer, massive drawer full of blue blockers. I just basically take a couple handfuls and throw them in a bag, so that we all have, blue blockers that we take that we can pull from. And yeah, I mean, that's my one. I absolutely want that if at all possible, but I cannot control my lighting environment. And then the added benefits are the things that we talked about for sure. They make travel, they make eating maybe garbage food or hanging out with garbage people. My family's not, I'm not saying my family's garbage, right? But there's sometimes you're around people.
I love my family, but yeah.
I do too. But sometimes, so-and-so invited a friend and you're just like, this person's got an opinion that's negative about everything.
Everything. Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Golden lights surrounding me. Cancel, deflect. You keep your energy with you, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then you just I don't take the bait. I'm like, nope.
Don't take the bait.
Not taking the bait.
It's so hard though. It's so hard sometimes.
Hard, like, because if you just listen to me, then your life would change. But
I know.
It's okay.
I get it. Like, you
gotta be ready for it.
You've got to be ready for it. I've learned the hard way. You've learned the hard way. Family, even when they ask for your advice, if they haven't been following along with what you're currently doing, they expect you to be in what supplements can I take or what food can, like, that's the advice that the vast majority of my family thinks thinks that'll come from me. And when I start to say things like get some blue blockers, go outside at sunrise, stop wearing those AirPods, it's like that does not go over well.
No.
And so it is what it is.
Yeah. And like I said, I love my sisters. I love my mom. I love them dearly.
Totally.
And it's not worth me expressing my opinions and my way of living to get rid of the relationship. Some people may feel differently and I respect that, but I value all the years that we grew up together and having our kids know one another and all of that much more than being right about all the different things. Who's right, who's wrong. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. We're all human beings. And I think just to end, I think that's what's been so, for me, exhausting about the last month with all the political stuff is just to see people just being so hateful to one another. And that has hurt me a lot. I wish it didn't. I wish I didn't care. But that's been the hardest thing about all the last, all the election stuff is just like to see the hatefulness. That it's like, do you forget we're all here, we're all human and we're all connected to one another. And
people don't say that. I know. I forget. I was watching a random YouTube video and I'm like, oh, I like this. Let's see if anyone's asked any interesting stuff in the comments. Why? Why do I ever go to the comment section of YouTube?
How to lose faith in humanity. Read the comments.
It's so true. It's like, people, please.
Yeah. Instagram did a beautiful thing for me this morning and it didn't let me see any of the comments that were left overnight. No matter how far it just wouldn't I was like, oh, I need to go do my work anyway. I will
assume they are all just full of love and light.
Less at all. Yes. I'm not looking. I had one go viral on Facebook. That was a huge mistake for me to look in that one. I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
People don't like, everyone's mad at me on Facebook because I only post it Instagram. And so if people comment or like, it's like,
oh yeah.
Like comment summit, right? It's like, and I'm sorry, I can only manage so much people.
I know I can't do it all. And I wish there was a way to hook automation into that, but there just isn't. So
there just isn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned the hard way when I did my first winter challenge 2 winters ago, and I
Yeah.
literally manually gave everyone the winter link after like 3,000 times. I said,
Yeah.
comment the word winter. Why did I do that? I didn't have any automation set up. That was so it's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible to stay up on top of it if you have to manually do it on other platforms.
Can't do it. You just can't do it. It's impossible.
So,
Yeah.
anything else?
I think that's it. I think that's a great way to help people as they navigate through this time of year. And we will, we'll see, we'll see what comes through. I haven't been reading the comments, honestly, but we'll see what we get back from this episode and decide how we will go with the next ones over the next few weeks.
Autoimmunity might be an interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I think we should go with that because it's such a hot topic these days and very emotionally charged. Yeah.
It is. And your perspective is unique coming from the fact, well, did you have an autoimmune condition? I'm trying to remember. Do you have Hashimoto's?
I had Hashimoto's and I've had no antibodies for almost 10 years now.
And then, if you talk about Alexis's, health challenges, I mean, like everyone is basically, people just claim autoimmune, but like the body is not stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's not. It's not stupid. And I still haven't figured out everything with her, but I've been zooming out through the lens of quantum biology and looking at it that way. And it's a lot more comforting to do it.
It is.
It's or more like empowering.
Yeah. I look at it as the body is trying to clear something from a tissue that doesn't have adequate energy to maintain its health. That'll be a spoiler alert, right? And so, yes, the immune system there might be activity happening, but it's not because the body is trying to kill you. Right. It's because it's trying to accomplish a task and it doesn't have the resources to finish the task.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, stay tuned, subscribe, ring the bell, all the things.